time, Veronica Vance. Coming up, we learn about those landmark downtown statues. We get inspired at the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History, and then we visit a local winery right here in the D, so stay tuned.
Production funding for this program was made possible by the Detroit Metro Convention and Visitors Bureau, driving tourism growth in Metro Detroit since 1896. More information is available at visitdetroit.com.
Downtown Detroit is filled with monuments and statues that many of you probably drive by every day and don't even take the time to know what they're about. For instance, the Fist. This is Joe Louis's Fist. It's right here at the busy intersection of Jefferson and Woodward. It's over 8,000 pounds, it's 24 feet long, and it's suspended by these pyramidal bronze poles right here in this busy intersection. And just a year later, another tribute to Joe Louis was created right down there. That's where we're going to head next, to Cobo Center. If you want to see the rest of Joe Louis, also known as the Brown Bomber, they have a larger-than-life statue of him right in the entrance of Cobo Hall, just down the street from the Fist. Now, this statue was dedicated in 1987. One of the great things about Joe Louis is that he helped defeat and shatter the image of racial superiority by defeating Max Schmeling and becoming the heavyweight champion of the world. Now, this circle monument that is right here at Hart Plaza along Jefferson Ave was dedicated in 2003, and the name of it is called Transcending, and what it represents is the never-ending cycle of hard work. We here in Detroit are hard workers, right? And what it does is it also complements the bronze reliefs that are set about. These bronze reliefs are mounted on cut slabs of granite, and again, they represent the hard work that goes on here in the city. Look at this one, all the hands clasped together. And down here on the ground, we've got some positive sayings about health insurance, health and safety protection, guaranteed pensions, grievance procedures. So this path of sayings along here kind of comes to a point and end, and it says we want more schoolhouses and less jails, more justice and less revenge. Wouldn't that be nice? Now, here along the riverfront at Hart Plaza is the Gateway to Freedom International Memorial to the Underground Railroad. It was dedicated on October 20th, 2001. Now, what's significant about this is it commemorates Detroit's pivotal role as a gateway to freedom for the thousands of African Americans who were escaping slavery and finding freedom just across the river in Canada. And directly across the river is another set of statues welcoming the escaped slaves to Canada. Now, right in the center of Hart Plaza is the Horace E. Dodge Fountain. Now, how this came to be was Anna Thompson Dodge, the wife of late auto pioneer Horace E. Dodge, gave the city $1 million to have a fountain built in honor of her late husband and her son. This stainless steel fountain is comprised of two steel legs that meet by a circular ring at the top to a height of 30 feet above a black granite pool. Now, in the summertime, there are over 300 jets and lights that create all kinds of patterns. It's a great place to cool off in the summertime, and again, it's a very well-known monument in the city of Detroit. Now, here along Woodward, in front of the Coleman A. Young Municipal Center, is one of the most recognizable symbols of Detroit, the spirit of Detroit. Now, this 26-foot tall statue was dedicated in 1958. Now, what exactly does that spirit mean, you may ask? Well, in his left hand, he's holding a sphere with rays emanating from it that symbolize God, and in his right hand, he's holding a family group that symbolizes all human relationships. Now, this elegant 11-foot bronze statue is called Passo di Danza, which means step of the dance in Italian. Now, it was made in 1961 by an Italian sculptor who modeled it after his wife. Now, one of the funny things about this is she's obviously a nude ballet dancer. In the 1960s, somebody took green paint and they made footprints coming over from the spirit of Detroit, who tiptoed over, I suppose, in the middle of the night to see the nude ballet dancer, Passo di Danza. Just north of Jefferson on Woodward, at the southeast tip of Campus Martius Park, is the Michigan Soldiers and Sailors Monument. Now, this was unveiled in 1872 in dedication of all of those who fought in the Civil War, and it was originally 140 feet north of here. They had a rededication ceremony because what they did is they opened the original time capsule, which had all of the names of the Michigan dead from the Civil War, and what they did is they then added all of the Michigan dead from all of the wars since then up through, well, I suppose sometime in 2004, and it's not to be opened until July 23rd of 2104. Now, this monument is about 56 feet in height and consists of a granite body on which are mounted statues and medallions of bronze. Now, at the top is a 10-foot statue which represents Michigan and has become part of Detroit lore that the artist modeled the top statue after Sojourner Truth, the renowned abolitionist and women's rights leader. Coming down from that, there are 4 allegorical figures representing victory, union, emancipation, and history. Farther down are 4 more figures representing the infantry, cavalry, artillery, and the navy. On the same level of these statues are medallion portraits of Lincoln, Grant, Sherman, and Farragut. Then on the outer pedestals of the monument are 4 eagles. So the next time you're out and about, whether it's a beautiful summer sunny day or a brisk winter day, take time, slow down, and do as they say, so to speak, to smell the roses, see the monuments, and appreciate our history. I'm at the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History, which is the world's largest institution dedicated to the African American experience. And when you come in up the steps, you're greeted by this magnificent rotunda behind me, which creates this really unique acoustic, echoey sound. From there, you go on up the steps to their permanent exhibit, And Still We Rise, which is a journey through the African American experience of culture and history that spans all the way from the slave trade days on through the current 21st century. They also have an extremely large temporary exhibit that rotates throughout the year, probably about 3 or 4 different per year. But we are here to see their latest permanent exhibit, Inspiring Minds, which challenges everyone to come up with their own great invention.
It really is for all ages.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of things in here for small children that we don't have in other areas of the museum. We have a lot of things that you can touch, which is awesome because in a history museum there's often not a lot of things you can touch and engage with. And so the space is really designed to learn history, to learn science, but also to engage and play. The highlight of the exhibition space is the multimedia touch wall. What we're looking at here is the African American timeline, and there are two components to the timeline.
Okay.
The first one is the top bar, which gives some facts about African American history through the years, and so this is what's happening in 1968.
Right.
It's designed to give some context because the stars are actually about specific African American scientists and inventors.
Oh.
And so the idea is that when you're learning about the scientists and inventors, and you don't know what was happening in 1967, you can look at the timeline at the top to get some kind of context about what was going on in American history and world history that was important. And so we can go from the African American timeline to another content area on marine life.
Wow.
And the bubbles are all touchable.
Oh,
And so
neat.
when a child comes up and they touch one of the bubbles, you get a fact about the ocean. It might be about the ancient ocean, it might be about the ocean now. And within each of the bubbles, there's actually an activity that a child can do. So this is a puzzle. Some of them are quiz questions, some of them are matching up, a fish or something that is in the ocean.
So Jennifer, I would also think this would be really good for school groups to come in and utilize this space.
It is. We have a lot of school groups that come in, and when they get here, we have an educator that's in the space that shows them how the room operates, and then they go and do a workshop that
Kind of gets their creative juices flowing.
Yeah, it kind of hits at another angle. So they get to do something with their hands, they get to create something, express themselves in a way. And so we actually have a lot of different workshops that a school can pick from.
What do you think about this whole big screen thing here?
I think it's good because we get to learn about the stuff that we really didn't know. So I learned about I didn't even know who this was. So I'm just reading it and I'm finding out who this is.
And isn't it inspiring you to want to do something inventive?
Yes.
All right, high five to that.
This vignette's on African Americans in aviation. And so here we have a NASA spacesuit, which is very popular amongst young kids. They like to take pictures in front of it. And so this vignette focuses on from the beginning of African Americans flying planes, all the way up until them being a part of NASA.
A lot of cool things in there, but the spacesuit is definitely one of the most impressive.
Yeah. It's like a picture perfect moment.
Yeah.
You get your dad over here snapping shots.
Yeah.
And then this big, bright, bold wall of inventors.
Yes.
How cool. What is this thing right here?
This is a gas mask designed by Garrett Morgan. It's one of the prototypes that we have at the Wright Museum, as well as the stoplight there, the traffic light.
So this is to inspire the young girls.
It is. It's to focus some on African American women in science. And so we focus on 5 different African American women that spans a large amount of time. And so there's some information in the touchscreen about the women.
What's going on in here?
This room is what we call a research room.
Okay.
And we call it the research room because of the database touchscreen, which is here. And the database touchscreen is where we have all of the scientists and inventors throughout the entire Inspiring Minds exhibition in one place. We also have a lot of science content within the space, which is on this wall and that wall. And so it's a little bit more serious.
So we've got another room here off of it, and this is, oh wow, look at a lot more interactive things in here. I bet the little kids like this area.
Absolutely. So this space really appeals to kindergarten through 3rd age grade students. And it focuses on George Washington Carver's life, but also has a focus on nutrition, eating healthy, and so we have the fake fruits and vegetables. We talk a lot about serving size.
And all the different things made from peanuts.
Absolutely, yes. And we tend to think of only peanut butter, but there's a lot of things that George Washington Carver did with peanuts and soybeans and sweet potatoes. This is our contemporary scientist kiosk. So we can touchscreen. When you start it, there's an intro video And this is where we highlight some of the scientists that are currently working in science, in technology, engineering, and math.
Well, hey Jennifer, thank you so much. I'm going to take a
Thank
look around at some of these other
you.
vignettes that we didn't get to touch on.
Absolutely, and make sure that you leave a remark at the video recording station. We always watch those. It's very exciting getting feedback from people about the Wright Museum in general and inspiring minds.
I'll make
So
my
thank
way
you very
there.
much.
All right, thanks Jennifer. Okay, let's take a peek behind the door of Dr. Ben Carson. Now, he's actually from Detroit. He's now a neurosurgeon at Johns Hopkins in Baltimore, who's one of the history makers. Well, there's so many little neat nooks and crannies if you look around. Like here they've got the plasma globe. These are so much fun. So a third feature of these screens is the A is for Africa exhibit, where they have these different letter blocks coming up, and again, some more information. This kind of ties in with the whole Africa, the exhibit we've got around the lower rotunda. They've got blocks, things to do, big puzzles. They also have this cozy, snuggly reading corner. You can grab a kid's book from up there, grab a stuffed animal. Of course, I don't have my kids with me, but how much fun. You can cuddle up here on the pillows and read a good book. So back in this little corner alcove, you can come back here and make a video to share your thoughts on this touch screen here. You just say you want to tell us about your thing, record your video. Very cool exhibit, definitely worth coming to. Lots of great hands-on stuff for the kids to enjoy and the adults too. Let's see. Oh, I just did it. How easy is that? How fun. And then you can play back, see how you did. Oh, here we go. Very cool exhibit, definitely worth coming to. Lots of great hands-on stuff for the kids to enjoy and the adults too. I've made part of history here at the African American Museum. Well, the Inspiring Minds exhibit at the Charles H. Wright Museum is a lot of fun, and as you've seen, there are lots of hands-on things to bring the little ones to. And if you're feeling especially challenged, all of these red blocks under here are actually pieces to a puzzle. They create this map of Africa, and I think I'm going to stick around and do it. I'll see ya, I don't know, maybe tomorrow? Let's see. Where do I begin? There are plenty of things to see and do in Metro Detroit this month, and our calendar of events is up next to point you in the right direction. Legends is a clever comedy at Meadowbrook Theater, and the Ultimate Fishing Show drops anchor in Novi. See spectacular ice sculptures at Plymouth Ice Festival, and the Auto Show rolls into Cobo to debut the latest designs. Make a new friend during Sesame Street Live, then enjoy winter fireworks at Rochester's Fire and Ice Festival. Cirque du Soleil gets inspired by the movie Avatar, and City Theater gets invaded by a sexy, fast-paced comedy. Explore Comerica Park, see the players and more at Tigerfest, and don't miss the Blue Man Group at the Macomb Center. The real-ish housewives of Oakland County come to the Fisher, and the Home Improvement Show teaches you how to fix it yourself. Get your blues on during Ferndale's Blues Festival. Then watch giant trucks getting crushed at Monster Jam. To learn of any changes, log on to visitdetroit.com or call 1-800-DETROIT. I'm in Clinton Township at the Filippo Winery, where owners Gerard and Tressa scour the globe for everything wine related, and it pays off because when you walk through the door, you feel like you're transported right into Italy itself. Okay, Wine Novice, Wine Diva, they've got you covered. They've got all kinds of really neat accessories. This is a wine bottle holder, stiletto red peel. How cute. Beautiful wine glass coasters. Just every little nook and cranny has something really unique. They also have a large variety of hand-painted accessories, all done by local artists. And then, what really fooled me, behind me, perfect for your boat, bikers, this is plastic. Can you believe it? They've got beautiful ones over here. These are etched plastic. If you don't want to take your glassware outside, your nice crystal outside, I was fooled. Okay, even wine clothing. And of course, very exquisitely done. So, Gerard, tell me a little bit about Filippo Winery. I mean, it's just beautiful when you walk into the place.
Well, thanks for mentioning that. We're a bonded winery. We get all the grapes shipped in from all over the world, and we blend, ferment, and process here. and we're really big on education, so people should feel very comfortable when they come in to visit our location. We want everybody to know that everybody starts off equal here,
Yeah.
and it's okay to not know everything. All I want to know is, are you interested in learning about wine, and are you interested in getting into wine? And after that, the world gets easier.
The world gets easier. And
That's
then
right.
and I see behind you, you've just got, are these all different flavors? Are these
Yes, now this is what we call our fruited wine wall here.
Fruited wine,
All
okay.
of our
Oh, yeah.
wines are based with grape first. For instance, we make a Riesling, a Merlot, a Cabernet, but then we add in pureed fruit in the third stage to give it a natural sweetness. They're a little lighter in alcohol, so this isn't serious wine. This is more of what we call just kick back and enjoy.
And these are beautifully arranged. These are all of your more traditional wines that are
Yes.
your non-fruit.
We've got it set up where the lightest and semi-sweet wines are there in the white category, and they're driest and heaviest as you come to this end.
Oh,
Then the same thing in the red category, our lightest and sort of semi-sweet, if you will, and then they go farther into the more complex and heavier reds. And then on this end here, we have more of what we call our premiums. We only have a few wines that are above the $12 range, and that's what these are.
And then you also make these labels when people
Yes,
come in. That's
we have
another
the ability to
aspect.
make a custom label, whether it's an individual bottle for somebody that wants to just say thank you, or for a wedding or a special occasion, or we do multiples for larger events like the wedding itself.
So when you have the wine tastings, it happens right here in this cozy little environment.
Yeah, the idea is we wanted to feel kind of like you were in your Tuscan villa, and we were going to have a party out in the garden. This room can be expanded to accommodate up to 30 people.
Also, when somebody walks in at any time, they can just come back here and sample some of your wines.
They may. We allow them to
That's-
sample any 3 selections of the wines that we have. So what we're really gaining is client confidence in our product.
Yeah, because you have what, over 80?
Over 80 selections of wine. We're pretty much going to find something that can work for
Very,
you.
very tailored to everybody's taste.
Okay, so this is our blending room. This is where we keep all of our tanks, and they range from what is called a 50-liter tank down here. These are our 300-liter vats, and we do have a couple of larger vats, 500-liter. We're producing almost 9,000 bottles of wine. The beauty of the stainless steel is that we have the flexibility that I can make a dessert wine, and then the next time around I might make a Riesling or one of our fruited specialty wines, but we won't get any residual flavor from the last batches that would get into the next wine and change its flavor and style. Now, I had a little pre-hand understanding that you like Pinot Noir.
Yes,
Well, I just happen to have one that I opened.
I like it. What is it?
This is Pinot Noir is the name of the grape, and there's also Pinot Grigio. That's the
white.
So I'm going to pour this one for you,
Okay.
and we're going to start you off with just a small amount. The first thing that you're going to notice is its color, okay? And the best way to see the color is to look through it from the angle, okay? If you can't see through it at all, it's a very full-bodied wine, but if it's pretty clear, then it's a relatively light-bodied wine.
Okay.
Okay? Then you're going to take the glass and just give it a little spin. When you spin red wines, especially, it aerates the wine, and the fumes are going to rise in the glass. Breathe it in. And you really do train your sense of smell to be very acute,
Smells nice.
and you're going to get a lot more of the experience out of the wine. You go, I did notice that cherry or that apple. Now, when you taste the wine, I want you to just take a small sip,
Okay.
sip, and hold. Now just open your mouth a little bit and breathe over it. Swallow, and then exhale. Can you get all of that experience? I mean, where
Yeah.
it fills your mouth,
Yeah.
and you get a lot more out of it. But this is where we did a full analysis to better understand how good am I going to like this with my meal.
Well, Gerard, thank you so much. I have learned so much information
It was a
today.
pleasure. Welcome.
Yeah, and whether you are a novice or an expert, if you come to a wine tasting at Filippo Winery in Clinton Township, I can guarantee you're going to learn something too, because this man really knows his wine. Salute.
Things are happening in Detroit that are going to reinvent the American city. Those of us who have been here a long time can tell you that it's never been more vibrant.
And it really represents the future, what the future can be and what the future is becoming.
Let's start at 5 a.m. We have joggers that are running through our state park, that are running on the riverfront.
I kind of like that Detroit has its own vibe right now. Like, it's awesome to be Chicago and it's awesome to be New York, but we kind of have like this underdog thing going on.
Visitors come in from out of town and they absolutely adore the city of Detroit.
When they get here, what they see is different than what they've come to expect.
I've been all over the country, and downtown Detroit is as safe as anywhere I've been.
It's really a very compact downtown and a very exciting one because it has so much great architecture, great cultural institutions.
Lots of restaurants, coffee shops.
Just walking, there's tours to do, there's museums to see, art.
We've got Campus Martius Park, one of the best urban parks in the United States.
The DIA, the Cultural Center.
We have a farmer's market.
It's easy to get from here to Campus Martius to Greektown, just walk all over the place.
The Fox Theater, the DAC.
There is so much to do in this city, and it's not like every other city.
All of us in downtown Detroit recognize that safety is the key to everything.
Come to Detroit and see for yourself.
You gotta see it to believe it. Well, that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Veronica Vance. And remember, if you would like more information on any of the places we visited, log on to visitdetroit.com. So until I see you next time, go out and explore on your own and discover the D. To learn about discounts and special offers for featured attractions, plus how to get copies of Visit Detroit magazine, click on visitdetroit.com.
Production funding for this program was made possible by the Detroit Metro Convention and Visitors Bureau, driving tourism growth in Metro Detroit since 1896. More information is available at visitdetroit.com.